What's poppin'? We are back with another Crystal of Atlan banger. It's your boy ToF, and today I'm bringing to you guys a video from yesterday's stream. I actually completed Temple of Fate Legend, and so in this video I'm just gonna show you guys my run, but I also want to go over some common mistakes that I think people make when clearing Temple of Fate. Just so that, to help you guys progress and to be more of an asset to your team, not die so much, and, hopefully get your clears in. And that's pretty much what today's video is going to be about. Let's get it. All right, so here we got the first boss, and there's a couple key things that I think that keep people dying in this fight. One of the first things is, at this point you can pretty much DPS him down, right? All he's gonna do is he's gonna go to the center, and then you're gonna take down 4 canisters, and then once you take down the 4 canisters, you're gonna have another window to where you can DPS the boss, right? And when you're DPSing the boss, the key is you want to keep dealing damage to him until the point where he starts spinning. Once he starts spinning, you want to dash away from his spin. That spin will poison you, okay? And you want to keep your health high during this fight, because if he chooses you as a target and you're already poisoned, losing health, once he puts the poison on you again, you're going to die before you get the canister. So that's one major thing. And then the second thing is what I just did right there is I'm not standing in the 3. So picture the fight as 9 platforms, right? 3 on the right, 3 on the left, and 3 in the middle, right? The only areas that can be poisoned in this entire fight are the 3 blocks on the right and the 3 blocks on the left. You see how the poison is on the ground right now? And you got 1 on the middle right and 1 on the back left. So, standing in the middle area is a safe place to stand, because if he spawns the poison right under you, first of all, you're not going to see it when it hits you, because the poison can hit you without fully forming yet. Once it's forming, then if you're in the area, it's going to touch you. And that, if he hits you with that and he targets you for poison, you're dead. So there's a couple of key areas that, you really got to watch out for. So it's really important to clear the canisters. It's really important to keep the floors cleared. The reason why clearing the floors is really important is because you want to continuously open up the access to the canisters. And so if your area is filled with poison puddles, then it gets harder to not touch the poison and kill the canisters. Of course, a few of us are capable of jumping over it and still killing the canisters, but it's a tough thing to do, especially in Legendary when the canisters are so, beefy. But to be honest with you, if you keep those 2 things in mind, so right now he's about to do the spin, everybody backs off, he chooses his targets, right? And then what I'm doing is, even though I'm not being targeted, I'm being that secondary person that is looking for canisters. See that canister right there? So I got my eyes on it and I'm making sure that it gets taken out, even though I'm not the current person being poisoned. Because at the end of the day, the fight is an easy fight if you just make sure that the canisters are cleared. You never know when one of your teammates are going to drop dead because they're being targeted with poison. You got to understand, when you're being targeted with poison, you're losing a lot of health. And so you see I got both eyes on canisters, even though I'm not being targeted, and I'm making sure they're going down. At this point right here, you can damage the boss and all, but it's not super important. Your time to put your actual DPS on the boss is going to be when he runs to the upper center, and then you can break him after clearing all 4 canisters. That's going to be your time to really damage the boss. But before then, your priority as an entire team should be make sure the canisters are clear, make sure the floors are cleared, and try to stay in the center so you're not hit by the little poisoned. As far as his moves are pretty easy to avoid. He doesn't really do much damage. But there's one thing that the boss does that's super annoying for your team. And if you're in communications with your team and you can detect when the boss is getting ready to slam, then you can scream out, he's gonna slam jump to your team, and everybody will know to jump in the air to dodge it. That thing literally wipes out 80% of your health. If you get hit by both of them, you're dead. If you're poisoned while he hits you with that, you're dead. So trying to get your team to avoid taking that damage is huge when clearing this fight. Because that's the only move that's really hard to avoid if you're not looking at it. If you're looking at it, you got eyes on them, then it's easier. But you definitely want to communicate in this fight. But at least if you're doing this run with some randoms, you just want to be that teammate that avoids it. That's the key. I want to help people to do this with randoms and be more effective. So if you're with randoms, you want to take a corner spot for the canisters. You want to make sure all the canisters are done. Be that person that clears more than one canister. Be that person that makes sure that the floors are cleared. Be that person to, make sure that the mechanics of the fight are taken care of. Oh, and by the way, when you're poisoned like this, also be that person to literally walk away from the team so that you're not poisoning anybody else. You see how I jumped over the pool to get the canister down? So that's fine. You're able to do that. Right now I'm just clearing floors, not prioritizing damage on the boss right now. Don't need to. The boss is almost done. And so throw some skills at him here and there. I'm being targeted again with poisoned. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this fight. This fight, see, I'm looking at this canister and I'm like, don't let it get through. Don't let it get through. So I literally died just to make sure that the canister did not go through. It's that important. It's literally that important. And I already know that the boss is at around 30 health, so he's almost dead. So yeah, be that teammate that gets it done, and you will be somebody who's extremely valuable. And that's pretty much the fight. That's pretty much it. Making sure that the canisters are down. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This one gets cleared. Let me see. Yep, here's the time to burst them down. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boom. Cleared it. No res is used. Yes, we died, but he was low enough we didn't need to use a res. Boom. Alright, next fight. Alright, so this one I'm gonna do in the perspective of the mini games, because this is just as important as the boss fight. If you waste reses here, it's gonna impact your team, so you need to do this correctly. First one's pretty easy. Make sure that the purple balls go in. My teammate was late, so I had to just wait for him to get his ball. Yeah, you want to do this quickly. So I already got my ball in. I decide, okay, I'm just gonna take yours. And put them in. And then you just want a DPS boss. Don't use any burst combo. So here's a common mistake that I see. I see people using their biggest burst combo right here. Okay, there's only one part in this entire fight that you want to use your major burst combo, and it is to after the shield is broken on the golems. Now the first thing that you want to do is you want to group the golems up. So you see how I'm aggroing them both, and then I'm trying to get it to where the boss is targeting both golems. Well, I was able to get them to target both here, and then I literally did a burst combo to literally get both the golems down. This is how you want it. I'm not gonna lie to you, your boy was picture perfect on this one. Literally get both golems in a corner, have the boss break both shields on both golems, and then use your entire burst combo to burst it down. After you do that, you can go ahead and burst down the boss again. Again, don't use no major combo here. Now here, we were literally out of DPS so much that we didn't even burst him down all the way. that's fine, because you're gonna save up enough here, and then you can literally burst them down. Now, on the last one, you want to, I think the key to this one here is if you're playing with a random, you want to see where he's shifting his bottom orb, because the most common mistake I see people do is I see people shifting their little purple orb towards the same yellow hunger eater thing. I don't know what this stuff is called, but what you want to do is look to see where he's gonna place his. If he looks like he's going for the one on the bottom, then you want to aim for the one on the right, and then aim the one on the top for the top one. And then don't be scared to hit your teammates. Like, if you need to get your teammates shit together, don't be scared to tackle their things, man, and get it done for them. At the end of the day, you're trying to get the mini games down, right? And if you're more efficient to where you need to hit their stuff and get it in line and get it in order, so be it. Like, it is what it is. But that was a picture perfect how to do the mini games. Keep in mind, I want to emphasize this again. You have to aggro both golems to you. And the reason why I say this is because your teammate is most likely is gonna just run around mindlessly. This video is to help as many people as possible not run around mindlessly, but you know, it is what it is, right? So you want to be that person that can literally walk forward and then get both golems to look at you so that they can charge towards you. Make it easier for your teammate to where if the boss happens to look at him and then he has to break the shield, well, you have the golem stacked, so it's easier for him to break the shield, because he just has to aim it at one and then he'll get them both. That's the key. You want both golems down in one shot. And then that's pretty much, I believe that golem part is what gets people killed the absolute most. The third part can be difficult for anybody who can't, I don't know, hit a thing like and just organize it, whatever. But I think most people got that down. Most people got the third part down. But where I find most people die is the golem part, and you don't want to spend any deaths on minigame. None. You don't want to die at all. So while we're here, my teammates are tackling the hunger. So I might as well talk about this too. There's a couple things you want to look out for in this one too. First of all, I can do this part as well, as you guys seen. I can do this part in the lead as well, but we have Drix on my team, and Drix is right now, he's a higher damage. Actually, he's the only higher damage Magic Blade on the entire server. He's on our team, so he is in the middle dealing damage. You want to send 4 of your teammates that can do the most damage, either that or 3 and 1 Scythe Guard. Here we used 3 damage dealers and 1 Scythe Guard. And so top 3 DPS gets it. That means Drix gets it over me. I'm coming, Drix. I'm coming. I've been climbing lately, bro, so I'm coming for that ass. But he does have me right now. And it's an honor to be able to play with people that, you know, deal massive damage, man. It's a fun experience. Anyways, so basically here you want to make sure that you are avoiding damage, right? But you want to look for his you know, his little area things that he shoots when he shoots in a certain area, because these little purple things, these little purple beams come out when he does it, and you really want to avoid getting hit by those, right? I think people forget that those exist, and then they end up dying to that. Like, I think this part right here is a little bit more obvious. The yellow hunger orbs, I think people know, yeah, I gotta touch the orb at 75 to 100% hunger. Yes, people know that, but people don't know that, you know, when he slams down the thing on the right, and then he slams down the thing on the left, and then he slams down the thing on the right. When he does that, he shoots out these things on the top, and that can get people killed. So just be careful with that. Okay, you see what our teammate did when he was being targeted by those lasers? Another big thing that people don't do is you got to run to the corner if he's targeting you. You have time. Okay, if you stand in the middle, that move right there, by the way, that's the move. You see the little purple things coming out? Yeah, those things can kill you. You have to dodge them. So you not only do you need to avoid the slam, but you got to avoid the purple beads too. But anyways, the little lasers, yeah, you have to take those to the corner. If you leave them in the center, yeah, that pool can easily kill your teammates. So you have to, like that teammate just did right there on the left-hand side. Okay, now here, these little lasers. Okay, there's two things you got to watch out for when he does this. When he shoots the lasers, first of all, get away from your teammate and then just stand still. That's how you avoid it. And then right after he does that, he sucks you in. You have to, you know, wiggle your joystick left and right or your keyboard left, right really fast to, you know, not get sucked in and run away. I think those are the parts that I'm seeing get people killed the most. Every other major mechanic to this fight, I think people got it. You know what I'm saying? And it's very simple. Even this part where you just run across, or you can grab an orb. I think people get that. It's the little things that's really getting to people. So I think once you guys, you know, got those parts down, you'll see a lot more clears and a lot less fails for elite and legendary. By the way, he also does this move. This is when he's just charging at you and he's shooting them things on the bottom. Okay, so you want to get away from the boss while he's doing that, and you also want to avoid those beams that are shooting from the ground. Those can kill you. And that's the other move. That's a move where I see a few people die. Like that's when he's killing a few, because it feels like he's on a rampage when he does that, but he just does that for a little bit amount of time. But that's pretty much it. Those are the little things. I'm not here to explain the fight in detail, right? I'm just saying that these are some key things that I notice that's getting people killed. That's all I'm just here to help. Okay. All right. Their fight. One major thing that I want to talk about this boss, right? Everybody knows that the red balls can kill you. Everybody knows that when he sucks you in there, you got to watch out for Medusa, to look away. You know, Medusa's going to kill you. Everybody knows to DPS the claw. Everybody knows to, I feel like people are getting the major mechanics of this fight, right? But again, there's a couple key things that, you know, I think is being missed, that is getting people killed. One of the key things is when to deal your damage, okay? That I'm telling you, I've seen people use their best DPS combo on the weirdest things, okay? There's two things that you need to make sure that you're bursting down, and then there's one additional thing that there's like primary and then secondary, right? The first thing is the claw. You need to get the claw down, okay? You need to get the claw down. The moment that you get the claw down, you need to burst the claw down in order to even go into this area to break the shield. Like, it's mandatory, right? So doing damage to the claw, very important. However, you also need to break the boss shield. If you don't break the boss shield, right, then what ends up happening is the boss shield then goes away and the claw resurrects, and you have to defeat the claw again and then break another 100% shield from the boss. So not breaking that shield resets the claw, and it basically puts you back on that clock. It takes away all that time you took to get down the claw in the first place. And then once that usually happens, you know, people get exhausted with surviving, and then the fight ends up being over. So that's something that you really got to be careful with, okay? Now, this thing, one major thing is that I see people doing wrong is that they use their burst combo on these little claw parts. Listen, stop damaging the claw parts. damaging the claw parts only do you good if you're able to destroy all the claw parts, okay? If you're able to destroy all the claw pieces, then the claw is gonna break automatically, and you can go in and you can burst down the shield. If you're not able to destroy all the claw pieces, then don't destroy any of them. Just focus on getting grouped up, because the boss is gonna teleport you into the red room, and then you're gonna need to be grouped up so that when somebody breaks that red spiky ball, then you guys can all teleport back. If you don't teleport back, most likely you're not gonna end up teleporting back on time, and you're gonna end up dying. So that's a major thing that I see people just getting wrong in Legendary. Now, another thing is, the secondary thing is you want to deal damage to the boss after you break the shield. Now, the reason why I call that secondary is because getting that boss's health down, yes, it is important, because if you do not deal the most amount of damage that you can to the boss, then what ends up happening is you have to do another rotation that you didn't have to do before, right? There's only 3 rotations, 3 claw phases that you have to go through. But if you don't deal enough damage to the boss, then that brings about an additional claw phase. So this boss is actually very easy, right? I would say that the famine boss is a lot harder than this one, but you can make this one hard by by missing your proper DPS checks. And when you're not having, like this raid right here, yeah, there's no wells in this raid. So the issue is that we have to be really careful about where we spend our damage, because if you don't damage the right things, then you're gonna end up not having enough damage to either break the shield, or you're not gonna have enough damage to damage the boss down, or to break the claw. Now, breaking the claw is very important. If you can get a good combo, then you want to do it. But you don't want to waste all of your damage on breaking the claw, because you need to break the shield. So when you're dealing damage to the claw, please just keep in mind that you need to also break the shield. I'm talking to those people that are struggling in Legendary and struggling in Elite. These are things that you just find common as to why people aren't getting these runs down. So this, like I said, the point of this video is to help. These are things that I noticed that people are doing, and it would just help if these things weren't present in your runs. So some deaths in this one are just really hard to avoid, right? So it's not like it's bad for you to die per se, but there's of course some deaths that you can avoid, and then that's it. As long as you know where to put your damage and to avoid those things that can kill you, you're pretty much good. Now check this out. We didn't deal enough damage to the boss, so look, he's at 7 bars. Okay, just from him being at 7 bars, we had to go through this claw phase all again. You see what I'm saying? This run is a prime example of not having enough damage on the boss after breaking the claw and after breaking the shield. But it is in our defense, it is tough. You know what I'm saying? We had 1 person down, and we had already dealt all of our damage breaking the shield, so it's not the easiest thing. And I'm not here to tell you that anything about this dungeon is easy, so please don't mistake me for that. I'm just here to tell you some things that I've noticed and try to shed some light so that we can all clear this. When you're running it with your peeps, you can get this cleared. Now I just had to avoid not only Medusa, but the things on the ground. So kind of crazy. But we were able to get the shield down again, and then boom, finished. So yeah, man, this was my first legend, so I look forward to being able to clear many, many, many more. I was excited to get this clear, let me tell you, because you guys wouldn't believe how many times I failed Legend last week. It was torture. I've never broken so many canisters. I was literally breaking canister in my dreams, in my sleep. So just know, oof, crazy. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you need me to go over, or if you liked, the video. Let me know if there's any future videos that you want me to make. And I appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. Yeah, man, I'm out of here. Peace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe. Head over to Twitch, follow Chovio6, where I do stream 3 or 4 times a week. See you there.